Okay, ngiyaloshisa kuwemfundo obukela ivideo. Okhuluma nguNduna osiyabonga wakamkwena. Angithathe leli thuba ngithokoze ukuthi uyangivumela ukuthi ngikusize emfundweni zakho ze-maths ne-physics. Ngaphambi kokuthi sithome mhlambe ngizazise kancane. So mina ngihlala eVerina, ngaqeda isikolo eMahagi ngo-2015, and then after lapho ngayokufunda University of Pretoria, ngayokufunda i-actuarial science, and after graduating with a degree in actuarial science ekuthomeni kwaka 2019 ngasebenza ku-company iPuma Energy, and then ngachiya kuPuma Energy njena sengisebenza e-F&B. So isizathu sokuthi ngirecord ama-video ebusuku ukuthi during the day kose ngisebenze, and then mangichayisako ngangithola kose ngenza isikhathi sokuthi ngirecord ama-video. So lapha mwami ngine timetable engisetile ukuthi okay, for the next 4 weeks iplani kube ngilena. So for i-maths this week sizokwenza i-maths, and then next week physics. First 2 weeks we purely focus on theory for i-maths ne-physics, and then kulamaveki lawa ayi-2 okugcina we do question papers. So for today sizoqala i-maths ama-number patterns. Tomorrow sifocusa too much on arithmetic. Wednesday geometric, excuse the spelling there. Thursday quadratic, and Friday we look at ama-series. Okay. So okunye ngithanda ukukusho ukuthi it's my first time tutoring online or on WhatsApp, so ngizokwenza ama-mistakes here and there as I record. Lapho okunye ngizokubhayiza, so yeah, ngiba ungibekezelele lapho. Sonke siyafunda. Yeah. So ngaphandle kokuthi ngimoshe esinye isikhathi asivele siqhubeke. So ama-notes wami wama-number patterns for i-maths zobe ngiwathatha from i-Mind the Gap, which can be downloaded online from i-website Department of Basic Education. It is available for free. Department of Basic Education. Okay, so angibuyele lapha kuma-number patterns. It's page 42. Okay, page 42. Okay, so as an introduction, I'll just read through these notes here and then try to explain as we go. So for now we're just reading through. Okunye ngithanda ukuthi okay, sizofocusa too much. Iplan yami ukuthi spend isikhathi esiningi kuma-question papers than i-theory, because kuma-exam I believe ukuthi i-application ye-theory is more important than i-theory itself. So mina i-aim yami ngalama video ukuthi ngikutrain ukuthi ama-question papers waphendula njani, because nami the reason ukuthi ngikhonile ukuthi ngi-achieve ama-marks a-good ku-maths or physics or for the other subjects as well, ukuthi I did as many question papers as possible. So ngokuthi ngipractice ama-question papers ngigcine sengibona ukuthi okay, ama-question i-structure sakhona siba so, kose ngiwa-approach njani, nakhona uba ne-skill sokuthi uphendule ama-question papers. Now practice ama-question papers, you'll know ukuthi okay, if I get stuck ku-question ngi-react njani ku-exam, and then ama-question lawo bengiwenza under exam conditions. So mase ngifika ku-exam bekuba yinto elula ukuthi okay, I've done this before, bengizipracticela ngokwami, so kuba yinto vele seyikhona ukuthi okay, ama-question papers ngiwaphendula so focusa kuloko ekuphenduleni ama-questions. For now we'll just go through i-theory. So looking at number patterns, so here they are describing number patterns, and then we know the types of patterns that we have. We have arithmetic sequence, and then we have geometric, and then we also have quadratic. And then ekuhambeni kwesikhathi sizokubheka ama-series, right? Sizokubheka ama-series. So as an introduction, let us just read through this. A list of numbers in order is called a number pattern or number sequence. We need at least 3 numbers in the list to work out if the numbers form a pattern. If we only have 2 numbers, we cannot be sure what the pattern is, right? So lana bazama ukusho ukuthi okay, a list of numbers in order is called a number pattern. Abakusho ukuthi if you have a list of numbers, that is a number pattern or a sequence. So let us read through that again. A list of numbers in order is called a number pattern or number sequence. Ebachaza ukuthi la, if you have a list of numbers that are in order, that is a number pattern or a number sequence. For example, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, that itself is a number pattern or a number sequence. And then babuya bathi we need at least 3 numbers in the list to work out if the numbers form a pattern. If we only have 2 numbers, we cannot be sure what the pattern is. So go exam, for example, if they give you a list of numbers 2, 4, many different number patterns are possible. Lana bachaza ukuthi if you have a list of numbers, in order to see ukuthi these numbers that you have form a pattern, you need to have at least 3 of those. Again, uzonotice ku exam maso wenza ama question ukuthi most of the time nabakunikela a sequence or a series, they will give you at least 3 terms ukhona ukubona ukuthi ipattern ibanjani. So if you know ukuthi okay, I have let's say I have, okay, the pattern could be 2, 4, 6. Here they add 2 to each term to get the next number. If this was given in an exam, you would know because they add a constant number to each of the terms to get to the next one. This will be an arithmetic sequence. If they only gave you 2, 4, you wouldn't know what pattern it is because you wouldn't know how it unfolds going forward. Okay, if they give you 2, 4, the pattern could be 2, 4, 6, where they add 2 each time, where they add 2 to each number to get to the next number. Or if they gave you 2, 4, the pattern could be 2, 4, 8, where each term is multiplied by 2 to get to the next number. So in this case where we have 8 as our third term, this confirms for us that okay, we have a geometric sequence. And then because we are multiplying by a common ratio of 2, right? We'll talk about arithmetic and geometric sequence in detail. Okay, so if bakunikela 2 no 4, you wouldn't know, angeke wazi ukuthi i-pattern le izobanjani because ziningi inamba ezingalandela after u4 lokho ezokwenza ukuthi i-pattern ihluke. So if ukulandela u6, then we would have an arithmetic sequence. If ukulandela u8, we will have a geometric sequence. We'll look at geometric and arithmetic in detail. Okay, again babuya bathi a single number in a pattern or sequence is called a term, right? So in this sequence I got 2, 4, 6, u2 is a term. In this case u2 is the first term, u4 is a term. In this case u4 is a second term, 6 is a term. In this case u6 is a third term. A single number in a number pattern or sequence is called a term. A single number. 2 is a single number. 4 is a single number. 6 is a single number. So each of those numbers, they are called terms. Right? So in notation abayisebenzisako for our terms is as follows. Term 1 is written as T1. Term 2 is written as T2. Njalo njalo. The number of the term shows its position in the sequence. Right? So if we have T1, lokhu kusitshela ukuthi if we have T1, this is the first term, right? This shows us the position of the number in the sequence. T1 equal first position, that is the first term. T2 equal second position, that is the second term. Njalo njalo. So T10 is the 10th term in the sequence. U10 loya kusitshela ukuthi okay, inumber leyo iku position 10 kuleyo sequence. And then in general, Tn is the n term in the sequence. Tn is the n term in the sequence. Item le iku position n, where n can be any number, right? So ekuhambeni kwesikhathi sizozichaza kuhle izinto lezi ukuthi zisho ukuthini. So now we have an example. Look at the number pattern 3, 8, 13. Jama ngibhale phasi. We have okay, I think sivulela kuqala. Okay, so look at the number pattern 3, 8, 13. All right, we have I think selected pen. We have 3, 8, is it 13? 13, yeah. We have 3, 8, 13, and then so on. This is a list of numbers, therefore it is a number pattern or a number sequence. So khumbula ukuthi ba describe each of the single numbers in this sequence is called a term. So if we look at this sequence, what is the first term? Our first term will be 3. So first term will be 3. So therefore T1 is equals to 3. T1 is equals to 3. And then what is the second term? The second term is 8. Therefore T2 is equals to 8. What is the third term? The third term is 13. Therefore T13, oh sorry, T8, T3. We're saying what is the third term? What is the third term? The third term is 13. So, oops. The third term is 13. So T3 is equals to 13, right? So we need at least 3 numbers in the list to work out if the numbers form a pattern. So now we have 3 numbers. We can see if these numbers form a pattern or not. Okay, we have 3, 8, 13. We are given 3 numbers, so we can see whether these numbers form a pattern or not. What happened in order for us to move from 8 to 8, from 3 to 8? Bakwenzile la ukuthi they added 5. Now 8 to 3, no 5, you'll get to 8. Okunye ukuthi what happened to let's move from 8 to 13, we added 5 again. So lana see add u5 each time to get to the next number. So if we add 5 ku 13, sizokhona ukubona okay, we have 3 numbers. We see ukuthi i-pattern le ifome kanjani. I-pattern le ifomeka ngoku-adda u5 to each number to get to the next one. So if we add 5 to 13, siyazi ukuthi we will get to 18, right? And so on. If we add 5 to 18, if we add to 5 to 18, you will see ukuthi the term after 18 izoba ngu-23, njalo njalo. So in general, nawufuna ukwazi ukuthi okay, kuthi 30 kunobani, how will you know ukuthi i-term number 30 is equals to what? So the question is what T30 is unknown, right? How do you find ukuthi ku term number 30 number khona ubani? That's where a formula ye general term comes in, UTN. For an arithmetic sequence, it's a plus n minus 1 t, where a is the first term in the sequence, n is the nth term, and d is the common difference. So a common difference ile number lesi add to each term to get to the next one. The first term is the number in the first position of the sequence. In this case, the first term siyazi ukuthi 3, t1 is 3, therefore a is equals to 3. The common difference, in this case, the common difference yethu ngu 5, right? So if ufuna ukuthola common difference, let's say in a sequence t1, t2, t3 and so on, common difference uyithola ngokuthi t2 minus t1, or uthi t3 minus t2. So in this case, d is equals to t2 minus t1, or d is equals to t3 minus t2. From a sequence yethu, what is t1? What is t1? What is t2? T2 is 8. What is t1? T1 is 3. What is 8 minus 3 is 5. So we know what the common difference of 5, right? Okay, so this is an arithmetic sequence where the nth term is defined as a plus n minus 1 times d. So ukuthola i-formula ye general term sizoba no 3 plus n minus 1 common difference ku 5 times 5. So nasifuna ukwazi ukuthi ku-position ku-term number 30 inumber ekhona lapho ngubani, sizo-substitute u-30 wherever we see n. So we'll have t30 is equals to 3 plus 30 minus 1 times 5. And then straight away ungayipuncha ku-calculator yakho uthola ukuthi u-t30 ngubani. So uzothi 3 plus 30 minus 1 times 5. Uzothola ukuthi term number 30 is equals to 148. 148. Right. And then siyaqhubeka siya ku example 2. Okay, so this, look at this number pattern, which is the one we've just looked at. Term number 1 is described as t1. T1 is the first term, in this case is 3. term 2 is the second term, in this case it's 8. Term 3 is the third term, in this case it's 18. To move from term 1 to term 2, we added 5 to term 1. To move from term 2 to term 3, we added 5 to term 3 to get to this 13. And then to move from term 3 to term 4, you will add 5 to 13, and you will see la ukuthi sizoba no 18, right? Njalo njalo iyaqhubeka. So if we keep adding 5 to each term, we get to the next term. So to get to term number 4, we will add, term number 4 is here. To get to term number 4, uzok add 5 to term number 3, and we'll get to term number 4, which is 18. To get to term number 5, you'll add 5 to term number 4, right? So uzothi 18 plus 5 uzokunikela term number 5, which is 28, njalo njalo, right? So now if we look at this number pattern, let's look at an example again. Okay, I think sulela qala. Okay. Right. Okay, second example we have, we look at the number pattern 5, 15, 45. 5, 15, 45. 5, 15, 45. Again, kumbulubati, we need at least 3 numbers in the list to work out if the numbers form a pattern. In this case, we do have 3 numbers. So what is our first term? It's 5. Second term, T2, it's 15. Third term, it's 45. Because we have 3 numbers, we can figure out if these numbers form a pattern. So in order to get to in order to get to 15, okay, I show so. Okay, so we have 5, 15, 45, right? So this, we have 3 numbers. We can see we can find out what these numbers form a pattern, because we need at least 3 numbers in the list to work out if the numbers form a pattern. We have these 3 numbers. We can find out if they form a pattern. So if we see what they form a pattern, we can calculate iterm elandelayo and iterm elandelayo njalo njalo. So now we have T1 as 5, T2 as 15, T3 as 45. Term number 1 is 5, term number 2 is 15, term number 3 is 45. So let's see what pattern is being formed here. To move from 5 to 15, what happened? And then to move from 15 to 45, what happened? Asicale u5 no 15. Asicale u5 no 15. So if this was an arithmetic sequence, besizokwazi ukuthi to get to the next term, si add a constant number. So let's say 15 minus 5. 15 minus 5 is 10, right? But then if we add 10, so to move from 5 to 15, we can add 10, right? We can add 10. And then if we add 10 to 15, we get to 25. Mara lapha sino 45. So lokhu kuyasitshela ukuthi okay, this is not an arithmetic sequence. So immediately siyazi ukuthi akusiyi arithmetic sequence. So lokho kusho ukuthi asi-add i-constant difference each time simuvela to the next term. So what happened to get to term number to get to the next term in this sequence? So if uno 5 and then you say times 3 lapha ku-5, you see ukuthi we get to 15. If uno 15 and then you say times 3 ku-15, you see ukuthi we get to 45, right? You see what we get to 45, and then because so yabona ukuthi okay i-pattern le ifomeka ngokumultiplya each term ngo-3, so i-term elandelako after 45 you can calculate it by multiplying 45 by 3, and then you'll see ukuthi i-term elandelako it's 135, right? It's 135 njalo njalo. So if ufuna ukwazi term number 30, so uzokhona ungakhona ukumthola u-term number 30 because usoyazi ukuthi i-pattern le ifome kanjani. And for any term you can find a formula or calculator that that term. So if you have for a so this is a geometric sequence because we have a common ratio of 3, because to move to the next term we multiply by 3. So Tn is equals to Arn, where A is the first term, R is the common ratio, and N is the nth term. So in this case, the first term here too is 5. Common ratio is 3. Common ratio, the number less multiplying ngayo to get to the next term is 3, right? So totally common ratio for a quadratic sequence, common ratio R, you'll say T2 over T1, T2 over T1, T2 over T1 is equals to 15 over 5. So kunikela 3. That is the common ratio. So if formula here, n term in this case is over ARN. A is 5, and then common ratio 3 times 3 to the power n. So or now we write now we bala so 35 times 3 to the power n. So thola term number 30, wherever you see n you put 30. 5 times 3 to the power 30. So uzokhona ukubona ukuthi term n is 5 times 3 to the power 30. So term number n, okay, term number n is actually large, so sizoyibhala in scientific notation, or you can leave it like this. Term number n is 1.029 times 10 to the 15. Okay, that's it. Yeah, okay, so there are more examples, but then my example ampura describer lokhu bachazako la in this paragraph. So if we look at the third example, they say look at this sequence 1, 4, 9. Term number 1 is 1, term number 2 it's 4, and term number 3 it's 9. So these are all perfect square numbers. Each number is the number of the term squared. So from 1 to 4, because 1 okay, so ngichaza njani le. Look at the number sequence 149. Term 1 is 1 squared, term 2 is 2 squared, term 3 is 3 squared, so term 4 will be 4 squared. So these are all perfect square numbers. Each number is the number of the term squared. So lana basquare i-position ye-number to get ukuthi le ngichaza njani, kuba nzima ukuthi ngichaze le. Okay, so if ngifuna ukuthola ukuthi i-first term ngubani, because its first term is t1, I'll say 1 squared, because nangifuna ukuthola ukuthi term number 2 ngubani, because it's t2 ngizothi 2 squared. Nangifuna ukuthola i-third term ukuthi ngubani, because it's t3 ngizothi 3 squared, njalo njalo. I hope it makes sense. Kuba nzima ukuthi ngichaze this one. Okay, so kwanamhlanje ngizogcina la. Tomorrow sizocala arithmetic sequence, sizodiscussa i-formula le yaka tn in more detail, and then sizosolva nama questions. Okay, so yeah, if unama question ungangithumela i-text ku WhatsApp anytime, ngizoyiphendula nangithola i-chance nami. Yeah, until next time.